Poogle. I am a professional and an experienced real estate agent serving the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about title insurance and how it protects a property owner. So let's get started. When someone buys a piece of property, you take what is called a title insurance. Okay? Insurance, we all know, it's some kind of a protection to the policyholder, and title is the ownership interest in a property the owner has. Okay, a title is an ownership interest in a property that a owner has. What are the ownership rights? For example, right to occupy the property, right to call and invite people inside the property, right to deny entry to people that you don't like, or for people who are knocking on the door selling products and doing renovations and modifications, and the right for you to resell the home or rent your home. So these are the basic property right that you have as an owner, and that is enabled by that title, right? So that is called the title. And title insurance means it allows you to protect your ownership in the property against third-party claims. Okay, again, ownership, it protects the ownership of the property in which you are living against claims from third party. So what are these claims? What could be these claims? So let me explain through an example. You bought a new home from a builder. The builder bought that home from a farmer. It was a farmland before, so let's say farmer Joe. Fast forward 20 years, okay, from now, you're still living in the property, and the farmer's son knocks on the door on 20 years from now and saying, hey, look, this property has been willed by my father. This land belongs to me, and you have built a home. So that is a third-party claim of ownership, right? This is where the title insurance will come in. The title insurance will protect your interest. It will defend against these claims from third party, okay? So that is what a title insurance does. And the company that will be defending will be the title companies. They have the attorneys who gave you the title insurance policy. Okay, so title insurance is a very important thing for any property owner, and it protects your ownership interest in the property as long as you own the property. It doesn't matter if you own for 2 years or 30 years or 40 years. As long as you own the property, it will protect your interest. Now, how do these title companies decide that they are going to issue a policy? So when you are buying a home, whether it is new or pre-owned home, the title company will start doing what is called title research. They will look at who is the seller. Do they have any issues with the title? Then they will go the seller of the seller, okay, and they will go far back in time when that piece of property was a land. So that is called a chain of title. So they will go seller that you're buying from, their seller, their seller, seller. So they go back in time and they look at each of these ownership in the past and make sure in each of these ownership period the title is clear. If there are any exception in the title that the title insurance policy will not cover, they will make it as an exception. And within X number of days, 15 days I think, they're going to issue you, the buyer, what is called a title commitment. In the title commitment, it will have exactly what they are going to cover and what they are not going to cover when they finally issue the title insurance policy to you. Okay? So that title commitment is important. Let me give you other examples. Now, when you buy a property, there are 3 ownership interests in a property: the surface and the improvements on the surface, which is the home, can be owned by a party, which could be you, right? You're buying that home. Then anything under the land, these are minerals, can be owned by somebody else. And the third thing is the air, land and above, who owns it? It could be owned by somebody else. In the state of Texas, the mineral, any mineral below the land, all the way to the center of the earth, could be owned by somebody else. So the title company is not going to protect your interest in the minerals, and that will be noted as an exception in the title commitment. If mineral interest is of big concern for you, then you consult a lawyer, and then you either terminate the contract or talk with your real estate agent for further advice. Okay? So in title commitment is very important, and it is provided by the title company saying this is what I cover and this is what I do not cover, exception. So you need to pay attention to title commitment. And at the time of closing, if you agree, then they will issue a title policy. Now, is title insurance mandatory? Do you have to? Does the state mandate that you need to have? The answer is no. It is really optional as a homeowner or a property owner. Unlike automotive policies where the state mandates in order for you to drive on the road, you need to have a minimum liability insurance. The state does not mandate that you have a title insurance policy, but it is highly recommended. Now, let me get into another difference. There are two types of title policies that you can get. One is called owner's title policy, and the second one is called lender's title policy. If you are buying a piece of property through a lender where you are borrowing money, the lender will definitely want a lender's title policy. What that means is the lender is protecting his interest in the property against any third-party claim. So that is what a lender's title policy does. But guess what? The lender's title policy is not permanent. As you pay the mortgage, at some point in the future you paid it off, then the lender is not covered. He is just covered for the amount he is borrowed to you, okay, on the title insurance policy, lender's title policy. So when a lender is saying that, hey, Mr. Buyer, you're buying the property, you need to get the lender's title policy in order to get the loan, guess what? It is going to be, costing you X number of dollars. How do you know what will be a title policy cost? In the state of Texas, Texas Department of Insurance, TDI, determines the rate based on the transaction, okay, based on the loan amount or the value of the property. They determine what the rates are going to be. You don't have to shop at all because it is mandated by the state. Whether you are buying from company A, company B, or company C, it is mandated by the state, Texas Department of Insurance. So let's take, for example, a $400,000 home that you're buying. And let's say the owner's title policy is $2,500. And the lender is saying, hey, I want a lender's title policy. Now, when you add a lender's title policy for the lender to the owner's title policy, it will cost you only $100 more, or vice versa. For example, if you're getting a lender's title policy, it may be $2,500 and you pay $100 to add an owner's title policy. But when you look at the contract, based on how your contract purchasing agreement is signed, the seller will pay for the owner's title policy, not for the lender title policy. Very important. Therefore, what you do is you get the lender's title policy, the seller pays for it, and you pay $100 more to get the lender title policy. This difference is important. Owner title policy and lender title policy. In pre-owned property transaction, most of the time the seller pays for owner title policy, and you as a buyer for a nominal $100 will provide the lender title policy. Now, a lot of people ask me, so Poogle, should I renew the policy? How long will the policy be effective? What happens if I am refinancing the property? So let me answer number one. Cost, I did answer. The cost is going to be fixed by the Texas Department of Insurance, and you pay this policy premium only once. And the owner title policy is valid as long as you own the property. You don't have to renew it, and that policy covers your ownership interest against claims from third party. So you don't have to pay anything. You sign it, you buy it, and you keep it, and it is valid as long as you own the property. You don't have to renew it. What happens in the case of refinance? Most cases, 99% of the time, when you refinance, you have to take a new policy, because the lender, the new lender, will demand that you take a lender's title policy. And as I mentioned before, it is going to be as expensive to buy a lender's title policy. So as well, you pay $100 and get both the policies together. In some rare cases, if the attorney reviews your current policy, it could be transferable. But those cases of transferring when you are refinancing is very, very rare. 99.99%, the new lender, when you do refinancing, is going to demand a new policy. Okay. Hope you found this video helpful. I do this live video every week at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time on different topics. If you like this video, please like me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/RocketRealtyTX. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/C/RocketRealtyTX. Thanks for watching.